That down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Alien Earth. A show that I confess I thought was a bad idea. Now remember, I heard about the show prior to seeing Alien Romulus. And granted, Predator Prey was pretty, or Predator, it was Predator Prey, right? Yeah. Prey was much better than amazingly better than I thought it would be. And I was kind of turning me around, but still, really, you're going to do an Alien TV show? Then I saw Alien Romulus, and I'm like, oh, maybe this could be good. And then the early reactions were all very, very good. Well, last night they dropped the first 2 episodes. Fantastic. And here's the thing. It was not what I thought it was going to be. I was kind of expecting something, and this would have been great too. This would have been great. I was expecting something along the line of Aliens, the sequel. I was expecting just a hardcore action show. Like a lot of space marines running around shooting aliens. Yeah, come get some. Right? Game over, man. I was expecting a lot of that. What we got instead was a decent amount of action, sure. But what we got instead was something more along the lines of the original Alien. This is a true sci-fi show. It's a sci-fi, it's science fiction. And I'm just going to read you just quickly. Like last night, once I got through the first 2 episodes, I simply texted Rob last night and I said, this is more pure sci-fi like Alien than an action film like Aliens. Like that's the first person I wanted to text was Rob. And I'm like, this is sci-fi, and not just sci-fi because there's alien monsters. Pure science fiction is when writers and creators are envisioning the possibilities and the fears of the future and what that could be. And particularly when they highlight our existential questions that we have about life, meaning, existence, the future, all that kind of stuff. It's what makes Star Trek such good sci-fi when it's firing on all cylinders.
Oh man, Brave New World.
Exactly. Just like Brave New World. That's said. And I was watching
the Aldous Huxley novel.
Yeah.
And I was just eating it up. The introduction of the variations of artificial life, like whether it's synths or cyborgs and the different things, the whole idea about the corporate takeover of the entire planet. And it's not just Utani. Like all that kind of stuff playing into the philosophical, existential questions that man has asked forever. Oh, with a pretty brutal alien monster that goes around and rips people apart. Like all into one. I'm not going to sit here and say this is the greatest sci-fi show of all time. I'm just simply saying that as somebody who had my doubts initially about what this show could be, Rob, I have emerged out of the first 2 episodes as a real believer in the show, and I cannot wait for the next bunch of episodes. Anyway, Rob, you had a chance to watch Alien Earth last night. What did you think about it?
I was blown away, to be honest. Like you, I mean, I think you said it very well. It's an incredible science fiction show. And what people don't understand, and I think so often this is the case, the film Alien, the original Ridley Scott film, Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett writing, and Alien, a lot of people look at Alien and go, oh, it's about, it's a haunted house in space. It's about an alien monster. But what really makes the movie, you can always do alien monsters. There's plenty of movies. I could show you plenty of movies that have alien monsters in them that are not at all like Alien. But what makes Alien the kind of movie it is the world building that it's doing. Like, first of all, and there's a lot of questions, Ash, the robot in Alien, the question that you have a company, Weyland-Yutani, that knew the aliens were there, that purposefully diverted the Nostromo there, that you find out that the crew is expendable. You also find out that there's an alien derelict ship that they don't explain with, of course, the space jockey in it, and thousands of eggs. That ship was going somewhere. Where did it come from? Where was it going? And the thing about the alien itself is it's the cosmic, it's a stand-in for the cosmic horror or the inevitability or the non-understanding we have for the rest of the cosmos. Here's a creature that we don't know, where did it come from? We can't understand it. How did it evolve? Where did it evolve? And there's all these questions being asked. And what Alien Earth did was it didn't look at it and go, yeah, we're going to make some hot alien action. It's going to kill a bunch of people.
Which also would have been fine. I would have been cool with that.
Yeah,
too.
but the thing is, what Noah Hawley did was if you go back to that original film, there's all of these questions that are posed that were never going to be answered. But it makes the world, because they're not really relevant to the actual story that's being told, but it makes that kind of world building makes everything happening richer. Because you realize that there's an entire universe happening around the crew of the Nostromo that you're never going to find out the answers to, but it makes it much more real. And that what Noah Hawley did was he then extrapolated, like all great science fiction does, okay, where's our world at now and where's it going? We're on the cusp of artificial superintelligence. We have corporations that are dividing up the world today. Where did these artificial people like Ash or like David, or like Bishop come from in all of these movies? And are there different kinds of those things? And so Noah Hawley decided to tell what all great science fiction writers do, a real science fiction story, as you pointed out. And I sat there and reading about, and I knew Noah Hawley after watching his X-Men series Legion. I knew that he was going to give us something special, or Fargo, because he's a real storyteller, and he's a real science fiction storyteller. And he said himself that he is a lifelong self-professed alien fan. Now that can go either way in Hollywood. Being a fan doesn't necessarily mean you grok it all, which is a Heinlein term that Elon Musk is absconded with, but he really does get it. And he went down and thought to himself, okay, I'm going to look at the whole alien universe holistically, and how's it going to work? I would imagine Mr. Trachtenberg overdoing the Predator franchise between Killer of Killers and now Badlands. He too is delivering on the Predator side, because they're all now one universe.
Yeah.
That you have two auteurs who have figured out or expanded the universe. And Cameron did the same thing. Who laid the eggs? Cameron thought about, okay, a shake and bake colony. What's going to happen? He built all this world building happens in Aliens as well. And it was great, dude. And the possibilities, Hawley says he's got a multi-season arc, because who's going to win the competition? What's humanity going to look like when you're in a synthetic body that lives forever? Star Trek dealt with that in the first season, 1966, with What Are Little Girls Made Of? That Strange New Worlds ripped off just a couple of weeks ago. Oh, wait, I won't get angry about it. But it's great stuff. I can't wait to see more of it. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
Real science fiction.
Again, and it's satisfied on so many levels. Again, we've waxed poetic about the science fictionness of it too, but also really interesting characters. The kid, like, I really am fascinated with the Wendy character.
Great.
I love the character. And when the monster action goes down, it's very satisfying.
And let's talk about the new creatures. We don't want to give too much away for people who haven't seen last night, but yeah. But it's not just as, and the idea was
other aliens.
Yeah, because in the first Alien, it brings up the idea that they knew about these aliens. So it's not breaking canon, it's adding to canon, which I think is really great. And coming up with what you find out in the beginning of the show, what they were doing, that it was an expedition. 65 years worth of expedition. Great stuff, man.
All right, guys. Question is for you. We clearly loved Alien Earth, at least the first 2 episodes so far. Did you have a chance to watch it last night? If so, what did you think about it? Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comments section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.